Welcome back, one and all, to Trails of Cold Steel 4. I am the Dark Seraph. Last time, you know, it's just a lot of talking. Wowzers! An exclusive interview. Like, this sure makes my day. Chloe, how are you? I'm well, thanks. I haven't seen you in months. It's good to see you two again, Joshua, Ren, and you guys. It's been a while. Tita and I saw you in the Grand Cell before we set off for Erebonia. I'm so happy to see you again. It was the time, same for us, but we were heading to Calvert. How's the Queen? Very well, thank you for asking Thanks for asking after her. After? I think you mean about her. Thanks for asking about her. She couldn't have attended with all the attention around her right now. That's why she sent me. I see. She needed someone trustworthy to represent her. But if those talks are so crucial, why didn't Julia and Sieg come along? I imagine some urgent matters kept them busy. Sieg really hardly has a moment to spare working as a messenger. I doubt people were just making small talk over tea and biscuits in there. Can you share anything with us, Dad? We haven't seen each other in a year and a half, and it's straight to business with neither hello nor hug. I suppose a father can't hope for love and affection from his daughter once she's left the nest and become independent. Don't guilt-trip me for not being all sugary sweet. You seem well anyway. You too, Sunshine. Joshua, everything alright? Yes. All's going well. So you're Chloe's bodyguard today, Dad? Don't tell me that's all you're here for. I won't believe it. I have some patience. Everything will be revealed soon enough. Yes, Joshua, Estelle, and presumably Ren are all the adoptive children of Cassius Bright here. I'm only 5 taller. I'm only taller by 5 or each. I'll catch up with you. I'll catch up with Tita at this rate. Please don't. It took me so long to stop looking like a kid. Nobody tell her. Don't worry, Tita. You're still growing. You're only 16. Estelle had just joined the Bracers when she was your age. This is a nice conversation. Estelle, did you see Zen when you were in Calvert? I did. It was just before I came to Erebonia. He asked me to pass a message for him to my dad and a few others. Brilliant. Stricterine. Sorry, we were caught up in catching up. We didn't mean to exclude you. Don't be shy. Join us. Small talk, small talk, small talk. I guarantee somebody's gonna crash the party. You seem to be enjoying yourselves. I guess that makes sense. But there's no surprise when good friends get together. Heh. They bonded during the orbital shutdown phenomenon. It's regrettable Oliver is no longer with us. And Shijarald has gone missing as well. Regardless, we must stay focused on what's ahead of us and try to remain optimistic. Wise words. By the way, I'm happy to see you, Reen. Master Cafe has been telling me about you. This young man has even more potential than you, Cassius. I'm not sure that's true. He must have been teasing you. Besides, there are many complicating factors. Oh, you're speaking of your background. I've heard of it, and I'm aware of the cause of your altered appearance, too. Don't worry too much about what you can't change, Reen. By the way, I got a letter about a month ago from a certain young man on an eastward journey. You don't mean Master Cafe? But I was still imprisoned then. Yeah, so I hear. Oddly enough, it was foretold in the letter. Whether it was prophecy or just a wild guess, I can't tell. A frighteningly accurate prediction. What was the letter about exactly? That's the thing, Reen. In the light of the current situations, I'm afraid I can't tell you just yet. It's not the right time nor place. But to give you a rough idea, the letter regards mastery of your swordsmanship. In this time of turbulence, become that flashing blade which illuminates the darkness, even if for the briefest moment. Once I've returned from the East and we shall be reunited, I shall impart to you my final teachings. The forms of master passed on to you. The forms our master passed on to me are the first, Helix, and the seventh, Void. You, however, seem to be trying to touch up on all 7 forms. In doing so, you'll go beyond even Void. You understand how difficult such a feat will be, don't you? Of course. Which, the way I am now, I'm not confident I could achieve it either. But you're right, this isn't the time or the place to discuss it. Excuse me for butting in. I'm from the Crossbell Times. Could you please spare us some time for a really quick interview? Your Grace, serious about your job, I see. I bet Niall and Dorothy gave you their list of questions for the attendees, too. Can I move on to the next room? Oh, they're having a meal. Okay. So much talking. So your mother moved to Erebonia? Yes, she couldn't stand Crossbell after splitting with my father, who's Calvardian. So she moved in some distant relatives with hers in the Empire. That was like 10 years ago. Time does fly. Oh, I think you've told me about this before. I feel like I'm forgetting something. How did you... Of course, you're from Lemaire. You're right. Family trees can get so sprawling, you two can't easily tell who's related to who. In fact, that Baron's family are really also distant relatives of my family. Oh? Maybe that's why your hair color's the same, or similar anyway. That pearl gray shade is definitely unusual. But the two of you have almost the exact same shade, so they're cousins. That's right, runs in the family. We may be very distant cousins, but we shared the same blood nonetheless. I had no idea. What a pleasant surprise. Aurelia Le Guin, a cousin. Glad to have you as my family, Ellie McDowell. That's kind of nice. And they're still talking. So how are y'all doing? Very well, thank you. Just catching up. We've been exchanging messages since we last met 3 months ago. We discovered that we have some shared interests. Ellie, don't tell him. What interest? And why is Elisa so cagey about it? Oh wait, I think I have an idea. Never mind. Ellie, let's talk about that in private. Okay, we're in a similar situation anyway. Next to them, I feel like a kid lost in the dark. I spy with my little eye Elise Schwarzer, Princess Alpin's most trusted friend, and the sister of the Ashen Chevalier. You're friends with Lady Mildine too, aren't you? When you can talk. If you have questions about my friends, I'd rather you discuss them directly. I'm no gossip. Oh, I wouldn't try to drag out any embarrassing stories about your friends. Nothing of the sort. You're a reporter from Crossville? So she's your next target on your hunt for the big scoop. Oh, don't make me sound like some kind of fierce predator. The only thing ferocious about me is my intellect. Hold on. Aren't you Ash Carbide? The guy who shot the Emperor. So what's the truth behind that story? How did it feel to pull the trigger? Ah, crap, what did I just get myself into? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh! And you're that gentleman... And that tall gentleman, is that the 8th Dominion of the Gralshredder? There are several topics I'd love to interview in depth about. Not that I'm totally in the dark about what you've been up to. Wazy, Kevin, and Rise have already spilled some beans. Did they? Don't be shy, I don't bite much. Seems like this is a party corner. Brilliant! Here comes the hero to join us. This is perfect. Let's go to that empty room over there so we can all talk privately. I'm not against an interview, but I'd much rather you didn't hound my friends and family for one. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself there. But if there's something you could tell me about that I could quote in my report, like maybe a short comment from each of you, that's not unreasonable. Dude, speak for yourself. What if I give her dirt on you? You're being a little overprotective. Typical Reen. That was kind of funny. Not gonna lie, that was kind of funny. Over here now. Cassius, how have you been? When was it we last saw each other? Goodness, 4 years at least? I'm sorry I missed your A-rank promotion ceremony. Huh. It coincided with the orbital shutdown phenomenon, so there was no helping it. I am Laura Arcade. You, sir, are a legend. It is truly an honor to meet you in person. I'm very glad to meet you too, Laura. I had the pleasure of working with Victor on the Bracer Guild branch bombing case. We praise you highly. Please accept my sincere sympathy. His loss must have hurt you deeply. Thank you. My father once told me that seeing your prowess, with the staff firsthand would be beneficial experience for me. From the lie I read that his powers. I believe you were self-taught? Not quite. I learned the basics from a friend. I also took some liberty in incorporating teachings of the Eight Leaves School into it. I'm Kurt Vander, younger brother of Mueller Vander and nephew of One-Eyed Zex Vander. Pardon me, sir. You're quite the hero. I feel a bit overwhelmed. Take it easy. I'm not all they say about me. I've met your brother and uncle, but I don't believe I've ever spoken to your father. When things calm down a little, I'd like to pay a visit to your folks. I fear I've been rather impolite in not having done so. I relay our master's message for you once the circumstances are right. And they've still got shit to talk about. This is gonna be a while. Come and join us. Don't mind if I do. By the way, was the Silver Streak an acquaintance of yours, Cassius? She was a pupil of mine at the guild. It's very odd that she's vanished into thin air. I saw a glimpse of her back in... God, where was it? Near the Osgiliath Basin. Enforcer number 6, the Bewitching Bell. Dubley. That's her. She showed up in Liberl during the shutdown. But it's unknown whether or not she's even alive. It seems she hasn't reported back to Ouroboros since then. They haven't written her off as dead yet, though. It's assured the situation is similar to Blue Blanc. That she's out there somewhere just doing her own thing. The Silver Streak was like a sister to her. Though she wouldn't keep quiet if Ouroboros had abducted her. Well, if it isn't the Stahlritters Dubley the Swift, as well as the Flustered. You seem very well informed. I can say the same thing about you, especially considering you don't exactly have ties to Ouroboros. I understand why you have the... I understand now why the Faceless was remarkably wary of you. My lord is also intrigued by you. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear about how you achieved mastery in so many disciplines. Swordplay, martial arts, military arts, strategy. I hear your master's disciple, Arios, is just like you. Yes, I've heard rumors about him. Just for reference, if you could tell us if there's anything in particular, any particular trick to it. Not that it impresses me all that much, but both you and Arcade are renowned as the finest swordsman alive, so it must count for something. I can't think of many honors greater than the Maiden of Legend herself taking an interest in me. Head to the next room. I'm Kia Bannings. Ren told me lots about you and Tita. That's nice to meet you. I'm Tita Russell. I can't believe it, Ren. She's so cute. Yeah, that's how most people react to her. So you must be Angelica Ragnar. Nice to meet you. I'm Ren Bright. I see you've been trained in the Taito style by Kalika. That's cool. It's nice to meet you, Angie. Or do you like Jellica better? I've died and gone to heaven. Oh, stop it, Angelica. What? Angelica, are you alright? We're only 2,000 yards above the ground, but it seems we're flying close to the heavens. Tita alone is an angel. but the three of you form an angelic choir. Remain calm, Angelica. Yes, seriously, Celine, what's going on? Beats me. I was just having a nap and woke up to this. I can't stand it anymore. Oh my god, stop it. And you're just rolling with it. You're just gonna stand by and let this happen? I'm just waiting for things to calm down so I can say hello. You need to get a grip, Angie. Angelica, please try to calm down. If you get any more whipped up, you'll have a heart attack. That aside, the fact that you're all girls doesn't mean your antics aren't sexual harassment. Thank you for calling it out, Celine. Hey, Celine here, kitty kitty, come on. Turn into your cat girl for me, please. Do it to save me from my beastly instincts. Keep your dirty paws off of me. Okay, that was actually kind of funny. Hey, sorry about Angelica. She's a good person. She's just, well, horny. It reminded me of something George told me about her. Beware. She may be a practitioner of the Taito, but her movements are inhuman. Wasn't she being manipulated by the gnomes? Maybe they did something to her that stuck. No, she's just like this. I like Angie a lot. You can never have enough cuddles. Stop it. Sweet Adios, her cuteness is making my brain melt. You, hush! Maybe you should give her a chance to cool off, you know, before she explodes or something. Hey, Schwarzer. Rosine, I'm surprised to see you helping them. As you overheard, we're trying to get a better picture of each militarized faction allocating its resources. Huh. And you're also gathering intel on military movements, Rosine? As a matter of fact, yes. There is an organization that understands and fears the Great Twilight more than the Septian Church. The details are confidential. We've already decided on which measures to take. We'll all benefit from cooperating, but in any case, we'll return to Mile Mirage at dinner. There's still more on the other half of the fucking ship. Hello, ladies. Have there been any updates on Hercules? We're still unable to locate them. With the Ramdas stealth function and mobility of the gunship, they're hard to track down. We're not going to give up, of course. I've heard you've requested the Bracer Guild's help with this? Yes. Although they haven't been able to dig up any new information since we lost sight of Hercules in the canyon. Yeah. Yeah. The Great Twilight must have taken that and twisted them back into Nox Familia. Those are the vampires from Erebonian folklore, if I'm not mistaken. Is there any way to make them human again? It's possible if you act quickly. If you find them within a few days, they should be fine. So that's our time frame. We'll need some spirit tags to stick on their forehead and... Alright, who's up first? I guess this room. It's been a long time. We haven't had a chance to speak since the trade conference. It's nice to see you again. And you! I'm glad you all seem to be doing well. Lady Mildine, it's also the first time in many years that I have the pleasure to talk to you. While I wouldn't call the call these the ideal circumstances, I'm delighted you're a most impressive young lady now. You flatter me. It's good to have time to chat about non-official affairs. So you've known each other a while. Prince Albert was a good friend of my father. We first met over a decade ago. Somehow, Alfred and I got on fabulously well right from the start. We talked about politics, economics, social issues, from evenings till the early morning hours. Sounds like my friendships. The lakes and marshes of Rimaferia enchanted Alfred, and he'd often bring his family there. It takes me back. I was just a little girl, but I vaguely remember the visits. I mostly played with your niece. She was about the same age as me. I believe I'd like to see her again. Oh, that's right. You two really liked each other, didn't you? Speaking of your niece, that's right. I haven't seen her in ages. Okay. I can rematch you in cards, but I want to have a proper deck. Hey, Reen. Don't be a stranger. Join us. What are y'all talking about? Jaeger troop movements and stuff related to the war, as well as Ouroboros' presumed plans. Yeah. I know I'm not talking much. I'm tired. Claudia, I'm terribly sorry about earlier. I was taken back. I lost my composure. Thank you for being so kind to me. Oh, of course. Considering the subject, it was no wonder why you became agitated. You have a huge responsibility on your shoulders as a representative of the Imperial family. Thank you for being so understanding. Now that rings alarm bells. I'll just wait for the announcement at dinner and try not to worry about it for now. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Estelle Bright, member of the Liberal Bracer Guild. It is a great honor to meet you in person. There's no need to be so formal with me. I've heard much about you from my brother. It feels like we're already friends. Olivier was a dear friend, and what happened to him was a terrible shock. He went out of his way to get permission for me and Joshua to visit Hommel once things had settled down. When we heard about what happened to him, we were all so heartbroken and angry. Me, Joshua, Shara, we all wished there was something we could have done to stop it. But I'm sure all our grief is nothing compared to what you must be going through. Thank you for having been a good friend to my brother. I feel a little better knowing there are people who cared so much about him. Oliver was a very thoughtful and brave man, and a lot of fun to be around. When I was hesitant about whether to accept my duty as the crown princess, he gave me the push I needed. He also fostered friendly relations between Erebonia and Liberal. Despite his airhead appearance, he was a very smart man. Thank you. He teased me for being so easily moved to tears. He'd come out with a line like, "At such a time as this, I'd like you to try to be a ray of sunshine which makes courage bloom." Yeah, that sounds like him. Regrettably, I never had the chance to meet him in person. However, I heard about him encouraging great integration and cooperation between all nations. Please accept my sincerest condolences, Princess Alphen. Well, that was a nice conversation. Lecter! Lecter's got an angle in all this. Let's be very clear on that. Lecter is playing some kind of angle. I don't know what that angle is, but he's got an angle on this. Yeah, there's something to talk about here. Sorry, Reen. We were talking amongst ourselves again and leaving you out. Can I get going and... I can get going and free up some space. Oh, no, please, don't leave on my account. You haven't seen each other in a while. I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. Getting to exchange a few words with you in person has been an honor. Good luck. With luck, we'll meet again and have much longer chat. You are too humble, Reen. Indeed. That reminds me, weren't you one of the testers for the Orbital Communication Network? I also got a test account from Ren. And now I can play Pom Pom Party with Claudia. I am still missing a couple. Let's play a game. Oh, the chili is pretty cute. Yeah, that looks good. There. Oh, a good place for you. Stick you there. Damn it! Don't have a good place for you. Stick you there. I have a good place for you. Stick you there. I'm not getting very good luck with these rollouts. I'm trying to watch both screens at once. That's why I'm kind of going quiet, because I'm trying to focus. Oh, you are mean. That's not what I wanted, but that's what it's kind of working. Gotcha,
My
bitch!
sincerest congratulations.
That was a hectic match. That was fun. As I was watching her screen to know when to nail her. Thank you for the invitation, President Rocksmith. There's no need to be so tense in my presence. Would you like a cup of coffee? There's tea for me, and coffee with milk and sugar for Miss Herschel. I believe you meant to say that's tea for me. Oh, translating a Japanese game to English. There's going to be a few hiccups. It would seem Calvert's intelligence agency is stacked with only the very elite. Well, their human resources are going to exchange now. As for the new party, takes place over for me. Is that right? Toa Herschel, we met at the West Zemirian Trade Conference 2 years ago, was it? If my memory doesn't fail me, you had a coffee with milk and sugar at the banquet. Your memory is excellent. Samuel Rocksmith, President of Calvert. As with most people in power, he easily dominates the atmosphere with his presence. Even though he's still way out, he's still a very influential man. He also seems to be a very relaxed person, like... Why, welcome, Ashen Chevalier. Unfortunately, I haven't been informed on what beverage of choice yet might be. Bourbon. But since you're so well versed in Eastern culture, perhaps green tea would be to your liking? With bourbon. Oh, thank you, but I only dropped in for a brief chat. I wouldn't want to make myself a nuisance. I imagine there are plenty of others we'd like to speak with you today. By the way, I wanted to ask for your opinion on my colleague, Toa Herschel. Wouldn't you say that her conflict resolution talents are perfect for the CID? Hesitant. I didn't see that coming. I heard you were bold, but I never thought you'd suggest something quite that bold. I'm nowhere near as audacious as your Chancellor. Soon I won't have to worry much about authority anymore. However, I really cannot stand seeing such a young talent not being put to good use. It's quite fortunate we met today. If you have any gifted friends who might be inclined to move to Calvert, let me know. No one comes to mind. And now to head back to the main floor. Hopefully we can bring all the meeting stuff to a close and the party crashers, who I know are coming, can come crash the party. Can't find anything to do? Hello, Duvalie, the Swift. I was just wondering. You can drop the epithet. If you can be informal with Lloyd and Estelle, why not me? It was just a slip of the tongue. Besides, there's not much of an age difference between the three of us. I feel like I should be more respectful when talking to you. Are you implying that, from your viewpoint, I'm old? Older. No, definitely not. She's what, 23? She doesn't even look it. But it's probably best to drop it. Anyway, Lady Mildine has more influence in the higher echelons than I imagined. She's got the potential political figures, bracers, the special support section, and all of you under the same roof. Even the Black Fang and the Angel of Slaughter are present. Yeah. You know them through Ouroboros? I was familiar with the Blade Lord who often worked with them. Joshua Astray left Ouroboros around the time I joined. I see. That must have been when he took Brights, when the Brights took him in. Hey, what you guys talking about? Swapping sexy little secrets, I hope? Oh, Crow. Is that all you ever think about? How's the intel gathering going, Crow? Well, Randolph's chatty as ever, but it's Joshua that's a real treasure trove. And it's kind of weird Vita's not here. Yeah, Emma's confused about that too. You both know what she's like, probably busy working on some grand scheme behind the scenes. Have you noticed tension in the air? Absolutely. It's not just you Awakeners that are particularly sensitive to it. Everyone gathered here seems to sense something ominous brewing. Whether there's a connection to the Operation Meal Mirage or not, we'll likely find out at dinner. There's the rivalries too. The calm before the storm might be over pretty soon. It could just be me, but we better be prepared. Who the hell are you? Oh, just a butler. Maybe me being paranoid, but he seemed particular. And there's Class 7. At least most of Class 7. Definitely seems like something's fixing to get going. It's not giving me a point to save, so it looks like we're going right into it. The lunch started a bit later, but the guests thoroughly enjoyed the fare and had lively conversations. It was a unique opportunity for the attendees and many meaningful exchanges were made. Sometime later,
what you see before you is an outline of Operation Meal Mirage, our response to Operation Jormungand.
an all-out attack coming from...
I knew it.
It doesn't stray too far from what we'd expected, but even so...
Seeing it all laid out like this makes it overwhelmingly real.
I get that a plan this crazy is probably our only hope, but... still... We're really gonna do this, huh?
Not much of a choice. One war to prevent another.
The Empire has drastically increased its military might, due largely in part to the draft. Current estimates number their forces at 1.2 million strong, and that figure will only rise before the fighting actually starts.
However, that number is going to be largely conscripts, boots, new recruits who have never seen combat. So they're going to be in way over their heads.
On the other hand, Calvard's military can barely scrape together 800,000, at most. Even if they try to boost their ranks with a draft of their own, that probably won't go over too well, judging by their last election.
Not to mention the huge difference in weapons and resources between the two countries. In terms of both aerial combat fleets and core tank units, Erebonia has a clear advantage. And that's without taking Panzer Soldats into account.
Or the new Zauber Soldats.
There's no way the Verne Company's production line could even hope to keep up. What's more, the Empire now has an excuse to throw all the new technology it's been developing into this war.
With that in mind, it's entirely possible that the Civil War was nothing more than an opening move.
I agree. It seems likely.
I disagree with that. I do believe the Civil War was Duke Cayenne trying to usurp the throne and make a name for himself. But that's exactly what it was. It was Duke Cayenne being a fucking dickhead.
The same could be said of the Orbital Shutdown phenomenon, or even the 100 Days War.
I don't know much about the Orbital Shutdown, but the 100 Days War were noble families trying to gain power and influence by becoming war heroes.
It is our belief that these events were simply set up, all to pave the way for Operation Jormungand.
I actually have a theory of my own right now. We all know that the gnomes can resurrect people, and we know that the gnomes can fuck with their heads. So what if the Gilead Osborne that we saw in the first game and the one that came back in the second one are two very different people? And even in the flashbacks we saw before the 100 Days War, we saw a very different Gilead Osborne. One stricken by rage and grief as what happened to his family and beloved son. So, what if this Gilead Osborne is a different person?
Damn it! Those monsters.
And Mille Mirage is your plan for how to hold back Operation Jormungand. We have with us the Republican Army of Calvard, the Royal Army of Liberl, the Remiferian and Viceland armies, as well as troops from Le Mans and Orid, and even resistance cells acting out of Crossbell in Northumbria.
You intend to coordinate every one of these individual forces united under a single banner to suppress the Imperial Army from all sides.
That's exactly right.
As you stated before, Calvard's armed forces total 800,000 strong. The Viceland army should bring that number up by about 100,000.
The Principality of Remiferia is prepared to lend its aid as well, to the effect of approximately 80,000 troops. Add to that figure an additional 120,000 from the Kingdom of Liberl.
Further, we can count on receiving around 20,000 soldiers from Le Mans and Orid combined, as well as another 10,000 from Crossbell and Northumbria. And this is to remain off the record, but we're expecting roughly 30,000 in reinforcements from Arteria as well.
Naturally, we plan on bringing Jaegers into the fight too. We've been scouting out Jaeger corps big and small. All in all, I'd say we're looking at a good 40,000 extra soldiers.
And with Jaegers, they work for a paycheck. They really don't care about anything going on in between. They're mercenaries.
Altogether a combined total of 1.2 million. Finally putting us on even ground with Operation Jormungand.
A war like this would stretch over almost half the continent.
Resistance cells from Crossbell, huh? That must be Sonia and the others.
Yeah, Muriel told me a bit about it, but...
Northumbria too? That have something to do with the movements we heard about there?
Yeah. The resistance there is made up of former members of the Northern Jaegers, who got absorbed into the Imperial Army.
And we got troops from Le Mans and Orid too. That would be their defense forces, no?
That's right. We've actually known about their involvement for a little bit.
I have to say, I'm surprised the High Seat of the Septian Church would choose to involve themselves so directly.
But Rosine mentioned something about this earlier, didn't she?
Yes. The Congregation for Divine Worship is likely deploying the Papal Guard as we speak.
The Imperial Army's technological superiority is undeniable, and we can't underestimate the threat Ouroboros poses either. Further, directing and coordinating all parties involved will prove a tremendously difficult task. That is the purpose of our meeting, to determine who will serve as the key piece in our plan, the cornerstone upon which we can build our success. I present to you Cassius Bright, Lieutenant General of the Royal Army of Liberl, and, as of today, Supreme Commander of Operation Mille Mirage.
What? Now that's what I call a power move.
A natural decision. Lieutenant General Bright did head the search and destroy operations against the cult in Crossbell.
What's more, he can already boast having pushed back an Imperial invasion once before. He's the most brilliant tactician of our time, without a doubt.
I should have known.
So you've accepted the position then, Dad? Even after hearing everything that's going to happen as a result of this plan?
I have. This can truly be called the Great War, the likes of which mankind has never seen before. A war that will surely destroy the lives of all it touches, soldiers and civilians alike. Hundreds of thousands of lives. Worst comes to worst, we could see casualties in the millions.
Millions?
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But at least it will keep the Empire from completely destroying everything.
Yeah. She has a point.
I think I speak for us all when I say this dreadful decision weighs heavily on our hearts. But there are stakes here far more dire than the invasion of Calvard itself. Namely, Erebonia's 2 septarians, as well as its curse, which spreads further and further with every land it conquers.
It's all connected.
If we don't act soon, the Republic will fall to the Empire's advance, drowning the entire nation in its curse. It would then only be a matter of time before the surrounding countries fell as well, until finally all of Zemuria is in the curse's grasp. All for the sake of reviving the ultimate being, the Great One. This we must avoid above all else. If this dreadful decision is the only chance we have of saving our world, then so be it.
They will be the martyrs of the future to come.
This whole catastrophe began in Erebonia. Though I can't personally agree to this plan, as a member of the Imperial family, I must allow it. Your Highness.
This is the consensus we have reached. I trust you understand now the reason we've gathered here.
There are a few things we must ask you now. Namely, if you accept the necessity of our plan. And furthermore, if we can count on your cooperation.
I'm sure you'd like some time to talk things over amongst yourselves, and with your other allies as well. But as you can probably tell, that's time we just don't have.
Members of the Bracer Guild, Special Support Section, Class 7, and Thor's Military Academy as a whole. We need your answers, here and now. How do you respond?
I mean, we don't have a choice. Do or die.
When it comes down to it, we, the Special Support Section, are just a single division of the CPD. We're in no position to defy the will of a nation, let alone 4. We understand the severity of the situation. But be that as it may, we can't, in good faith, lend our aid to this cause. There has to be a better way to fix this mess we're in, and we won't back down until we figure out how. Not just to stop this war, but so that someday, Crossbell can take back its independence for good.
I see.
You can count the Bracer Guild out of this deal, too. We're the supporting gauntlet of the common people. Their security and protection will always come first. But at the same time, we understand that you have to do this. So instead, we'll make sure to get in touch with our headquarters in Le Mans to organize an evacuation plan for all the citizens. And in the meantime, we'll look for our own way to resolve this, just like the SSS. That's the Bracer Guild's decision.
Estelle.
With so many of us still missing, we can't claim to speak for Thors as a whole. But we can, at the very least, tell you our decision as Class 7. Become the foundation of the world. In a sense, those words have shaped our class from the very beginning. A war this big is certainly one way to keep the curse in check. We could be a new foundation afterwards, one built over ruins and destruction. But this curse is not absolute. Though it sweeps across the nation, toying with our fate, there are still those who stand together to resist it. We've seen as much with our very own eyes. We need a plan to try and ensure the safety of the world as we know it. Mille Mirage can be that plan. But, like the Guild and the SSS, we choose to find a third path forward for ourselves. That means dealing with any incidents brought about by the curse, as well as the rivalries. Whether or not that's even possible, I don't know. Time is running out on us even as we speak. Yet still, we'll continue to tread forward, step by step. Because we owe it to Prince Olivert to find that third path he always strove to take.
Reen.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
The path Prince Oliver would have wanted.
I see.
My goodness. The naivete of youth never fails to astound me. And yet, as history shows us, it is precisely the young and foolish who bring change to the world.
The same could be said of those not bound by duty or tradition. Come to think of it, Prince Olivert himself embodied every one of those qualities.
He most certainly did. And his spirit lives on in this next generation.
We have heard your convictions, clear and true. Operation Meal Mirage is already underway. But so long as you respect our position, we will respect yours in turn.
You're under no obligation to participate in our plan. That said, we'd appreciate your help wherever possible. That includes exchanging information, keeping civilians safe, and so on.
We certainly have more room to cooperate than Operation Jormungand does at the very least. You Bracers played a pivotal role in solving the incidents in Liberl, as did the Special Support Section in Crossbell. I eagerly await seeing what such seasoned heroes can bring to the table.
Thank you. We won't disappoint.
I don't know if I'd call us heroes exactly, but we'll help out in any way we can.
All that suspense was killing me.
As grim as our circumstances are, we now know what our mission must be.
Right! We gotta do everything we can to stop this war before it begins. And even if it does, we'll just have to find a way to end it.
Right. Our first course of action is figuring out exactly what we can accomplish right now as members of Thors. I imagine the rivalries will play a key role in that.
Agreed.
You're all pretty gung-ho about this, huh?
How are you guys so relentlessly positive about everything?
It really is the most annoying thing about them, isn't it?
God damn it, I knew there'd be party crashers. Hi, Campanella. I'm gonna enjoy kicking your ass.
I know that voice.
It's him!
Enforcer number 0 of Ouroboros.
Campanella, show yourself.
Sounds like things are coming along nicely over here. Quite
Who's
the
the
illustrious
spy?
guest list you have here. I'm almost starstruck.
Where's the camera he's
it would
watching
seem the
through?
rumors weren't unfounded.
Maribel.
Belle! The new third Anguis of Ouroboros.
Lady Mildine, my greetings to you and all the leaders of the world gathered here today. I see a number of familiar faces and some new ones too. My, how delightful.
You
Can I
must
kill her?
be Dieter Croesus' daughter. I've heard the rumors of what you've become.
A member of an international terrorist organization. Gracious me. The audacity of this woman.
Whoa, he really called it, huh, Lady Belle?
Mayor Shirley.
You're one to talk.
And Rutger?
Hey, this is some party you guys got going on.
Real swanky joint, too. Shame for you, Zephyr's here to crash it.
Shirley!
You.
So
Boss.
it's the Palatinate.
That means Zeno and Leo are here too, doesn't it?
It's the Palatinate rivalry.
Sure
I
does.
expected the
But hey,
Vermilion.
we're not done with the lineup just yet. Don't think things will go the same for you here as they did at the workshop.
Please excuse our intrusion.
Sharon.
God bless.
George!
So you've come.
And the Scarecrow.
Lecter. It's really you.
In the flesh. Long time no see, ladies.
My lady, everyone, I apologize for interrupting such an important meeting.
You should have just kept the mask on, Angie.
If you're all quite finished, it's time I make the final introduction.
There's Cedric. Should've.
Your
I knew
Highness.
this little fop would show up.
Cedric, why are you...
Ah, if it isn't my dear sister Alphen. And Class 7.
Fucknut.
Your little stunt in leaves caused me no end of headaches.
You had it coming. That's what you get for getting Elise and Tio all wrapped up in your schemes.
That's simply how it works between us. You should understand this by now. The rivalries are no different. This particular matter has been entrusted to me by Chancellor Osborne himself.
So it is
Consider
Vermilion.
this a little congratulatory visit from us to celebrate the commencement of Operation Meal Mirage.
Okay, but who's the spy?
Were
Who
we
leaks
just
this
hacked?
information?
Yep. They probably used the Society's astral code to infiltrate the system.
Courtesy of Belle and the Fool, I'd assume.
Sounds like we're in for a fair bit of trouble then, huh?
Yeah, they're coming.
What the?
Damn.
Wow.
They brought Imperial warships. No.
You're in
not
neutral
quite.
territory.
This is the bridge. We have an emergency.
They cannot
We've got 8
engage in
Crimson
warfare.
ships approaching on our 9. And with them, a 280-yard class airship.
This is neutral territory. They
Damn.
cannot launch an attack.
There's only one ship that friggin' massive.
You mean
Gargantua.
the one that appeared during the orbital shutdown?
That's right. Ouroboros' pride and joy. The largest battleship in the history of mankind.
The Crimson Ark. The Glorious.
Well, we're fucked. If nothing else, I get to kick that little fucknut's ass right where he needs it. Now you listen here, you little blonde-headed shit. I'm gonna put a boot right in your ass. Hi, Gilbert. I'm gonna kick your ass. Scorpio's here, too. What are you gonna do with long rifles? Oh, you're gonna fight Jaegers that are boarding. Unfortunately, I don't have time to cover this right now. Hate to leave you on a little cliffhanger until Monday, but I'm going to have to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on Trails of Cold Steel 4 as we put a stop to this. Okay, so I gotta pick 2 members. Like I said, I want Eustace. And let's bring Machias in. I'm gonna get to control Lloyd. Haven't done that in a while. I expected it to end sooner. This is not the time to be merciful.
Now, shall we get going?
Best of luck, all of you. You guys be careful, okay?
Wait, what in the world's going on? Whatever it is, it looks like we got a real juicy scoop on our hands.
Not the time, Grace.
Oh, no you don't.
I believe you all know what it is you must do.
Kill everyone that stands in my way?
Yeah.
We got this.
Just leave it to us.
Now then, shall we move out ourselves? We are currently under attack by Ouroboros' enhanced Jaegers and members of the Red Constellation.
The Red Constellation, huh? Gonna be a real pain in the ass, especially with the Blitz there.
Gilbert's probably heading up the enhanced Jaegers. Not that he's anything to worry about. His archaisms might still give us some trouble, though.
Gilbert's a puss.
Speak for yourself. I'll make sure that little errand boy regrets ever stepping foot in here.
Well said.
Ash, Kurt, I'll be counting on you.
You got it.
Understood. We must stop His Highness.
Yuna, Altina, we're going to need your support as well. Of course! Let's do this, Ellie!
I'll give it my best.
All right, guys. It's time to begin our joint operation. Team A will go starboard. Team B, you head port.
Our current position is the rear side of the lower deck. Let's make our way up to the top deck. Take out any intruders you find along the way.
Show no mercy. Take no quarter. It's do or die.
This will be the perfect chance to put our teamwork to the test, huh? It's our time to shine, Reen. Let's go!
Right. Show me what you've got, Lloyd.
Yeah, I get how that works. Thank you. Okay, now I'm gonna end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Dark Sarah, signing off.